Welcome to Monkey Love Travel. I am your host, Jason, and in today's episode, we are going to talk about how we were able to get a casino comp for Utopia of the Seas. Let's swing into it.
Monkey love, oh monkey love, travel. Pack your bags, let's hit the gravel.
Okay, Monkey Love family. So before we get too into this, let's start off by saying we will be talking about gambling. So if you do not have the money to gamble, do not gamble. Also, give yourself a budget. Whatever that budget is, stick to it. Do not go beyond that budget. All right? So, all right, let's get into this. So, on our last cruise, we were on Vision of the Sea back in end of June, beginning of July. Went over July 4th. We had an amazing time. It was a 9 night. Went to Bermuda, went to Nassau, Bahamas, and then we also stopped at Perfect Day at Coco Cay. We have another video coming out where we review that entire trip. You've probably already seen our Vision of the Seas walking tour. Thanks for everybody who's viewed that and has liked that. Love the comments. Keep them coming. All right. So while we were on Vision of the Seas, we set ourselves an $800 budget uh, to basically try and earn free cruises. We knew about the program going into it. We knew about the tier levels. You got choice, premier, so on and so forth. Um, you're going to need quite a few points to get past premier. So we were just focused on getting into choice and then premier. Premier starts at 2,500 points. On this cruise, we earned 1,530 points, and I'll go through the different days where we break down just how we made those points and pretty much how much money we put into it. Okay, so like I said, we were on an $800 budget. We weren't going to go beyond that. And if we did win any money, we knew we would most likely be putting that money back into the game, whether it be slots, video poker, or if we felt the need to play any table games, then we would do that. The Since we were leaving out of Baltimore, we would not reach international waters until either really late on the second day or early on the third morning. I can't remember which one it was, but we did not put any money in the casinos until the third day. I went down on a solo session. Only took about $200 with me, which was fine. I found a machine of all names called Mighty Monkey. It just was so appropriate. I was like, I'm done, sold, putting my money here. I played for roughly an hour, maybe an hour and a half. It wasn't a very long session. I won. I immediately went up $200, so I doubled my money, and I believe my points were somewhere around 250 points just for that solo session. So fourth night we played for roughly an hour, lost $200, got about 250 points out of that session. Moved into night five where we played for about 2 hours. Lost about $200 that night as well. So we're about halfway through our budget on night five. But at this point, we're right around 850 points so far. And our goal is to reach at least 1,500 to 2,500. We didn't think the 2,500 would happen. But at this point, the goal is to get to about 1,500. That way, we would receive better cruise comp um, offers. So we moved into night six. We put another $200 in and walked away up $300. So it was a good night, and we finished with about 1,050 points, which we believe okay, they were pretty good overall. You know, putting the winnings back into it, but we're still within our budget. So we move into night seven. We lost $200, but we got to 1,280 points pretty quickly in that session. That night, when we got back to our room, we did have our first cruise certificate. Now, this one was $300 off any select cruise. We didn't know what those select cruises were at the time. We could obviously look it up, but we didn't do the internet package, so we decided we would wait till we got home to look at that. Plus, we knew we still had more left in our budget, and we wanted to get in on that seventh. I'm sorry, our last night, which would be basically night 8, because when we get back into port, the casino's closed, so we have to take advantage of the last night. So eighth and final night, we have roughly $300 left of our budget plus winnings, and we want to make sure. Okay, let's find the appropriate. Let's find the great machine to pick it up. I believe we sat down on an older Wheel of Fortune machine, and we put the $300 in that we had, and we sat there until it was gone. We went up, we went down, back and forth. I believe it was about 2 to 3 hours of just playing on that $300. Wife and I had a great time doing it. Just, oh yeah, you're rooting for the machine. We went from $5 to $10, $10 to get you the big spin. We would go back and forth. We would land on a $5 hit, but the $5 hit wouldn't get you that big spin. It was like, oh darn it, oh no. So yeah, let me get back to the story here. Sorry. Okay, sorry, I had to check my notes real quick. So we managed to get to the 1500, and we managed to get to 1,530 points by the end of that session on that night. It did take the whole 300, so we did not finish up. We took the 800, we budgeted that, we spent it all, knowing that we would, and we were willing to, in our minds, lose that money, or, for lack of a better word, invest that money in future cruises by earning these points. So the 1,530 points is still technically choice level, but it will get you the bigger offers when it comes to casino comps. And that is absolutely true. So when we got back, there was another instant cruise certificate in our room. So we're like, hey, wow, let's go up to the next cruise desk. Let's see what they have to offer. Because if you go to the next cruise desk while you're on board, your deposits are going to be cheaper. And what we chose to do was do an open booking. So we did not choose a specific cruise. We didn't choose a specific date. We just put down a $200 deposit. So it's $100 for myself, $100 for my wife, on an open booking, which we could determine and choose later. Now, with that came a $100 free play, as long as we booked the cruise within 30 days of leaving the ship, which we did. When we got home, within 2 weeks, we got a couple offers already from the casinos. And when we're scrolling through these offers, we saw Utopia of the Seas, which was a 3-day interior only room, which for us, wow, getting on the second largest, biggest ship and being able to go on the newest ship that they have was a no-brainer for us. So the dates worked out for us. It's going to be at the end of February, so we are absolutely looking forward to that. We're hoping to arrange a slot pool, and I can get into that in another video if anybody's interested. Just leave me some comments below. Let me know if you're interested. If you're seeing this and you're going to be on that cruise, give us a shout out. Say hey, we'd love to meet you guys. But yeah, we are super 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 stoked. I can't say super enough. Super super super. Okay, now that I've explained how we earn the free cruise, and what we're trying to do to get to the prime level, and when those points reset, when or March 31st, and then come April 1st, you do it all over again. Now keep in mind, this is just using one person's earnings. So we just did this under my CPass card. We have the option of doing both of ours. Now, if we both go in and try to invest this money, then I use invest loosely because it's gambling. really is. There's no guarantee that you're how much money you're going to have to put into these machines or gamble in the casino to obtain your points. We did get a little bit lucky in the fact that $800 did get us a long way. We may not be lucky, so lucky the next time. So please keep that in mind. I'm using that term investment very loosely. So backtracking a little bit, if my wife and I both decide on our next cruise, which I hope is going to be in April, we aren't sure yet, is if I earn points and she earns points, whatever those point values are, the goal is to both of us reach prime. So we are then both getting these offers. Now, what we can do is anytime we want to do a booking, I book a room in my name, she books a room in her name, and then we can bring either friends or family with us as our second guest. If we want to bring, let's say, my oldest daughter and her husband, I would book him in my room, she would book our daughter in her room, and then, our granddaughter would most likely be free depending on the program. No, she's young enough that she would automatically be free. So, being able to bring them on board for a sailing just works out. So there you have it. That's the way we were able to get on Utopia of the Seas using a casino comp. Like I said, we're super stoked, and we are absolutely looking forward to it. We've got everything paid off already. Got our flights booked. All fantastic. Like I said, if you're going to be on the Utopia at the end of February and you're watching this video, please let us know in the comments. And I believe there's a Facebook page out there for it. Jump on that page. We're going to try to host a casino slot pool that night. I got to get in touch with Casino Royale to make sure I'm not violating any rules doing so. I don't believe I am. I've seen them, tons of them. But we would love to meet you, and let's swing into adventure.